Hello everybody, welcome back to F125, my team career, and the Piastri had the prototype up. He wanted live for Brittany Motorsport, what made him want to leave McLaren. But hey, if I can get up the Piastri alongside Russell, I won't hate it, but it doesn't matter, he shied elsewhere. Wasting my damn time, it doesn't matter, it's fine. George Russell, showing fair play, slowly catching up to Lando Norris in the World Championship. Charles Leclerc coming off a fantastic hat trick of the victory. He's also catching up as well, and in the season 4 performances going to Belgium, which is the Audi has some improvement. Caveat, not so twice, has had improvement sit back in Canada, not so bad, and then the rest of the other team pretty much normal, it doesn't even improve whatsoever. But we have now got the Belgium Sprint. Belgium Sprint. Ollie Behrman, by the way, is actually on the pole position. He driven immediately in the sprint qualifying, and Russell has to do some hard work to try to get back up through the ill road, and now starts chasing after Lando Norris. We want to make sure we finish ahead of Lando Norris. I think my priority in this Belgium Grand Prix, I think ought to make a move again through the ill road, overtook Lando Norris, so that's good. And we're still doing the same thing, trying to be quick as we're chasing after Ollie Behrman, who's unfortunately had looked back down into P3, that it's hard of start for Ollie Behrman and Piastri taking the lead of the Belgium Sprint, and he's also on the soft tyre. So I'm hoping by the time I'll be able to start chasing down Piastri, he'll be losing time quite quickly, and Russell has gone ahead and overtook Ollie Behrman. And I'm telling you now, you can see Russell's eye, he is hunting down. This is what we want to see from George Russell. It's almost like he kind of inherited Max Verstappen mentality going to the season, absolute pure determination and trying to smash everything he can in order to win the World Championship in this season 4, and that is what I love about George Russell. This is why we of course signed him on for an extra year. By the way, we are going to give him the contract at the Belgium weekend done. He will be receiving contract for say another year. Alex Albon, I'm in a difficult position with Alex Albon at the moment, if I'll be honest with you. But of course, we're now on a chemistry coming to the end of it, at the moment, the overtake on Charles Leclerc to get up into second place. But on the final lap, unfortunately, it didn't show it. Lando Norris had managed to nip ahead of her on lap 8. Camel Snake with the Diana. Can't do nothing.
High-speed straights, heady elevation changes and dramatic corners. What is there not to love about today? It's qualifying day here at Spa-Francorchamps.
Here we are to Spa-Francorchamps. It's time for the qualifying. So we know from the sprint, we have pace, we show that, but we need to make sure we are basically showing more of it, you know what I mean, if you know what I mean, show more of it. So of course we already done our third run, as you can see we're on a hard tyre. There's a reason, because I'm hoping to use 2 soft tyre in a Tuesday, which we have managed to make it do anyway, but unfortunately, and Albon is out in 2-1. It started to show a little bit of a struggle right now, and of course this is the final night of before the summer break, before the summer break, but this is where things started changing a little bit in terms of contract, in terms of drivers and other things. So this is where we now started thinking what our position going forward. But in 2-2 done already at Yellow and Gatling, pretty much the shot on one are out, and we can see the hat driver Paul Allen are not doing a bad job. He is not doing a bad job. So for Russell third run, we hoping to make sure we don't have to work too hard for trying to get a pole position or something, but we managed to start 10 but knocked out third, and now it is time to get back tower to put another soft tire on, and this is now what I want you guys to do is to watch this rejected qualifying, to sit back and enjoy.
Fantastic, you've got pole position.
Good job.
Well done. Well done. From George Russell, absolutely mighty. 1 minute 39.702. 2:10 faster than Piastri. Hat off to Russell.
Welcome then, as we take a step back into the nostalgic golden days of motorsport. Spa is unashamedly a throwback, and all the better for it. Climbs, drops, sharp turns, chicanes, sweeping high-speed corners, all while taking in some of the most beautiful scenery that Europe has to offer. This might sound like a travel brochure, but it's not. It's a race day. Welcome along to Spa-Francorchamps for the Belgian Grand Prix. Spa-Francorchamps then, a historic 19-corner circuit with a lap distance of 4.35 miles. There's over 100 metres of elevation change here, and with long stretches of the lap spent flat out, a good top speed will be vital for success. So with the race not far away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. George Russell will begin today's event in pole position, and Oscar Piastri completes the front row. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Norris, Ocon, Paul Aron and Tsunoda, Sainz, Leclerc, Behrman and Franco Colapinto, Antonelli, Hadjar, Gabriel Bortoleto and Gasly, Tramnitz, Maloney, Alex Albon and Nico Hulkenberg, Crawford, Pepe Marti, Lawson and Jack Doohan rounds off the grid. And now it's time to head down to the track. And alongside me today, a man who I'm always pleased to see join me in the commentary box, Anthony Davidson. I know what we've got to do before the start of today's race, but what about our driver? What do the final hours look like for them?
Well, for them, you've got your pre-race rituals that you go through. You see different drivers that, some have got their headphones on, they're listening to the music. Some drivers really absorb the energy from the crowd and they're there waving to them. Other drivers, they go within themselves. They chat to their engineers, absorbing that information, that vital information that you need to carry you through the race. And, those pre-race rituals are essential to making things systematic. We do a lot of Grand Prix in a season, and the more systematic you can be, the easier you are within that environment.
Here we are, the Belgium Grand Prix now. Finding in here, we are doing one-stop strategy. So hopefully we will be fine with that strategy. I mean, to be fair, the team started to get better with tyre preservation. But that is obviously something that we are very proud of, because that means we can do quite a long one rather than having to come in early because the tyre is burned, the wear, all worn out and stuff like that. So the fact that we managed to do better on tyre preservation this season improved massively in our chance to be the better team, basically. So we now lined up to the, of course, Norris started on the pole on the inside. He needed to be able to hold on to the Piastri on the outside line, shut and play. If you don't like the outside, get the good exit, we are done potentially, but the 5 red light is now getting ready to go. And on way, the Belgium Grand Prix is now on way, and Jordan also had a fantastic start, but Piastri managed to get a better one, but Jordan also managed to block the Piastri from being able to make a move, which is good, which means he's behind us, and then good news for that, and Lando Norris still remain in third, with Esteban Ocon starting fourth, in the fourth place, out on fifth, Shire ship to known as seventh, Behrman now in eighth as he overtook Franco Torapito, but they are going side by side, but can Torapito get back new? No, he does not, and behind, we got either Hadjar is fighting Timmy Attiello, but Hadjar is about to back out, and Attiello made it difficult for Hadjar to try to get through, and we've fallen down to the bottom of Alex Albon, who's unfortunately in P19, he was P16, but now not replayed this back. Absolutely horrendous start from Alex Albon, and the one in the back is Jack Dumont in P22, unfortunately. And now Russell is leading out with 1 second gap to Piastri, but that now reduced a little bit. It's just to show that McLaren had got a better car through the tournament, especially in Sector 2, but in Sector 3 and Sector 1 should be in our favour. But again, we should never know, do you? But Russell, unfortunately, went a little bit deep on the entrance of boxed up to chain as it now entered the lap 2. It just needs to hold it, that's all it needs to do. We now are going down to Euro, and Piastri will get the other Lando. And what I don't want to happen is both McLaren overtaking Russell and make it hard for Russell to be able to get back ahead. But if you want to win, he hasn't had a victory, he would love to have one. And Bortoletto is now in 14th with Gasly in 30th, and in the last time we can see McLaren are fighting with each other, and we got Charles Leclerc. Oh no, Charles Leclerc got a broken wing. What on earth had happened there? He made a contact with Ollie Behrman at Franco, and Behrman was battling with each other, and Charles Leclerc trying to find a way around the outside, but made a contact with the front wing damage for Charles Leclerc. I'm now assuming he's going to start coming in, because that front wing is not going to be favourable for Charles Leclerc to hold it for a long time. That is not happening. I think he's going to come in and replace it, which is going to be a big impact on his racing, since he's also in the fight for the World Championship as well. But the Piastri has lost bit of a time to show Russell, and it seems like going new sector 2, Russell found pace to make it more, and it now increases gap almost to 2 seconds, and that is good. And we got Charles Leclerc. Is he gonna go into the pit? And looks like he is. Charles Leclerc is now in the pit lane very, very early on, and I'm going to assume it's gonna be a 2-stop strategy for Charles Leclerc. That is so unfortunate for Mercedes, and for Charles Leclerc to now change the front wing and putting the stop tyre on. It's going to be a long afternoon for Charles Leclerc, and Lando Norris. He tried to make a move on the inside, but he did not make it run, and we got Torapito, who's just been overtaken by Ollie Behrman, and behind we got Bortoletto and Tim Chadney are having a little battle of their own, and Chadney has gone up into P13 with Hatjar, P12, Gaffney, P11 and T11 in P10, but it's now been broken into section. So pretty much everyone are having an own pack. They have some fighting going on between Atiele is 2 sections behind Torapito, who is fighting Behrman, but 2 sections behind the Eugene Tonona, who is fighting with Paul Aldon, and pretty much going from Eugene Tonona all the way to Carlos Sire are pretty much in their own fight, and Esteban Ocon is trying to stay close to both McLaren, but in lap 4 going down the hill Sure, not sure. He is having the time of his life right now. He is pretty much looking to dominate the Belgium Grand Prix. 2.4 seconds. That is the light thing to watch right now. And the Ocon going down the outside of Lando Norris as they join side by side. But Lando Norris has managed to defend the play from Esteban Ocon, but what a live has Ocon been doing this weekend. Very impressive to see Aston Martin in 4th place, particularly with McLaren. It shows McLaren has now got the pace advantage right now, so that's good. That is a good thing for us. But unfortunately, on a camel straight lap 6, Carlos Sire has now gone ahead and overtook Ocon to move up into P4, and Alon is now got a bit of a pressure from Eugene Sonona, but Behrman had pulled away from Franco, who is also happens to defend against Atiele. But the last time we can see we got Alex Albon is now making a move up into P6 as he overtook Dan Maloney, but now he just take off a hat job, allowing 1 Albon in play to the tour damage limitation for the Construction Championship. Because right now, McLaren are getting run away with it as they are in 2nd and 3rd, and not sure what's in 3rd, but points together, McLaren got more points overall than not sure, so I need Albon in. But he's far back, unfortunately. But in lap 7, out of turn 1, up the Piastri, it slowly catching up to George Russell. This means the tyre it started to going bad for George Russell, but Lando Norris has lost bit of a time to up the Piastri. This means the Carlos side is also slowly catching up. That's going to be interesting fight to see if Carlos side is going to attack Lando Norris. But we're on board with Torapito, who now got Atiele coming on the inside line. It's the goal, yes it does, but it's side by side. Can Torapito defend? Or will Atiele goes? No, it's now up into P9, and it's now battle for the 9th place between Torapito, Atiele, and Gaffney. And it's on this flag. We got on that flag. Oh no. The racing now comes to stop. There's a red flag. What had happened? We don't need to find out. So, here's a replay. What happened? So we got Alpine on board. So we got 2 Alpine by the way, and 1 car in front. We got Metallica Failure, and that is the Alpine. So we got 1 Alpine out of the race. That surely would be safely car, not on red flag though. I guess maybe it's the placement where to put their car potentially. Oh, we got smoke! We got another smoke! Oh, it's Alpine again! It's Alpine slowing down. That one, Jack D1, I think. Oh no. Jack Torfor and Jack D1 are out of the Belgium Grand Prix. That double mechanical failure for Alpine, but the Lisa is now getting ready to go underway with a hard tyre, but can Russell still maintain the lead of the Belgium restart Grand Prix basically, and up the Piastri does not get her, so that's good. And we got all the time having a little shotfall, and we now got Bortoletto going, meanwhile going down into the hill, who is going to back out. It's Bortoletto that backed down and had John had now moved into P30 with Chadney into P12, and tore the P10 unfortunately for them back into P11, and Piastri didn't make a move on short loss and lifetime in between Bortonazzo at 19 with either hat job, yes it is, and Bortonazzo John needs to move back into P30 and chasing after Trackman. But now, the thing is different. It now delayed all the way to the end. No one is stopping unless another safety car comes out or another nose flag. So that is the prediction. I think that's gonna happen again. We might have been wrong, but the racing so far before the nose flag has been a very, very smooth sailing. But that might change. Who knows what to go down, because the McLaren are now going to be ruthless because they are going to push with everything they got to try and take down Norris. It's the ultimate force in this race before the red flag, but that all changed because everyone is now on the same strategy, but how it's going to work out. And also made a mistake on the last corner of the butt up to 10. But during the lap 10, up the Piastri, it now pulled up alongside with Sean Russell went down the turn one, contact made again, and Piastri takes the lead for the third time in this race in Belgium, but now Russell did not try and get back at up the Piastri, and Lando Norris had not a bit of a time. He did make the contact with Russell, but there was no family damage. Oh, on the last goes the Sean Russell is now back in the lead of the Belgium Grand Prix, and Carlos Sainz is now having a battle with Lando Norris, and Carlos Sainz is new into P3 and Trackman is in P11, 20 to P12, brought it up to 30th, and Alex Albon needs to get into the fight, get sucked in, and to do some dirty work if you have to, and definitely we need that from Alex Albon. So let's see what he could do, and Oliver Behrman is chasing after Paul Albon, who by the way has lots of place in UT709, is in P6 right now, with Ocon in P5, Lando Norris in P4, Sainz in P3, and pulling away at the top two of the Piastri and Sean Russell. They are now in their own lead. They are having their own battle, and it's side by side going meanwhile the fastest sweeper. Can Sean Russell still be able to hold it? Yes, he does. I think now going into the butt up to 10, and not the Piastri is waiting for the right time to pause and try and get back ahead of Sean Russell, but it's going to be a hard one, and that is what we want, to make it to be hard for them to try to get there. And we've got side by side fight with Gasly and Attielli, but Attielli has a lot to play. So Pierre Gasly, and he's now in ninth and chasing after Oliver Behrman, who's also chasing after Paul Albon, and we've got Alex Albon going down the inside of Elmo, can he get you on Gabby Bortonazzo? They're now doing side by side, leave the channel straight, but it's going to be the other that racing all the way down to turn one. We've got Attielli and Trackman having a fight of their own at Trackman. It's now gone into P10, and Bortonazzo and Albon are still fighting, but it's Bortonazzo that's going to defend his play back ahead of Alex Albon. What a fine thing we've been watching right now, but for almost in lap 12, they still continue as Albon John New and overtook Bortonazzo, and Gasly already overtook Paul Albon, by the way. So Gasly is now in P8, but the gap is a little bit far from Oliver Behrman, wasn't it? But now in lap 30 onto the channel straight, we now got the Piastri to the start using DRA and potentially looking to make a move on Sean Russell, as he Sean holding the outside line on purpose, trying to shape some confident lack of confidence into the Piastri. We seem somewhat that positive, and we got Tim Trackman has just overtook Paul Albon as they swap position, and to be fair, Trackman does look quick. He does look quick, and Paul Albon, will he be the team player and do all the defending and allow Tim to pull away to try and lead as much gap as he can without being overtaken by other cars behind Aaron. We'll find out as the race will continue on for 10 laps to go. The fight is still on for Russell and Piastri, but you cannot count out Carlos Sainz because he could be joining very soon as now it's back to the same spot side by side, going to be very good racing tomorrow as they're still giving each other space as they're now coming up into butt stop to chicane once again. After Piastri managed to get into the lead, but will Russell get the exit he needed to maintain his lead, and look like he does, and Piastri nipped out the inside. Will he know short Russell off or not? And the Piastri took the lead once again in Belgium, and Carlos Sainz is starting to catch up to short Russell, but as we go up into Illinois, onto Barcelona, and now into the terminal straight, Sean Russell had a mighty exit and he's gone back now. A lot the Piastri and Carlos Sainz to the follow the on the inside. Carlos Sainz to the turn the Yeti dot, but he's side by side, and the Piastri got nothing to defend again to Carlos Sainz. What a dive from Carlos Sainz and Aaron. Unfortunately, has been overtaken once again by Timmy Attiello. It's a shame, very shameful time for poor Aaron to be having this kind of struggle at the moment. It just sucks for him, and Carlos Sainz now could be a threat to short Russell, but before forward into lap 17 now, Carlos Sainz is now right up alongside us, but not quite ahead of us anyway, and Russell prioritizing exit over entry as he now got fantastic exit going down the hill, but in lap 16 Lando Norris had overtook the Piastri. That was the lap 16 replays, and this was what happened how Lando overtook. So it was a very good overtake, but the Piastri cannot afford to finish behind Lando Norris though, because he is also contender in the World Championship right now. But Carlos Sainz, he is coming. The Spanish driver is now coming for sure. Look at it now, going down the inside. Till he gets me, no he doesn't back that at Russell. It makes it hard for Carlos Sainz to think about it. Made him think twice, and that is just because in lap 18, Camel Slate, Lando Norris is now coming on the outside line of Carlos Sainz, and he's trying to make a move, but Carlos Sainz to the defense, yes he does, and we got Piastri behind us. Had a moment with Ocon, but it's all good. Piastri still ahead of Ocon, and Yutin Tsunoda are hoping to be able to get involved into the fight and maybe finish on a podium. Be very impressive if Yutin Tsunoda actually to pull that off. But Team Tag is now in a fight with Attiello, so it's been a very tough time for the head driver to try and hold back Attiello. But on the board with Lando Norris going into lap 19, he is obviously chasing after Carlos Sainz, but Sainz has a lot of a time to short Russell, which means no Diana. But Carlos Sainz has the pace of Carlos Sainz falling off or not. We'll find out as we've got 3 more laps to go until the end of the Belgium Grand Prix. Off the Illinois onto the terminal straight. Lando Norris is now get the Diana, and he's going to make a move on the inside, and he's going to go there and take second place from Carlos Sainz. Sainz, that is unfortunate defending. He has not managed to do it against Lando Norris. Maybe they are worse together, who knows? But we got a lot of time with the fight with Attiello and Tim Chapman, and Attiello has gone through and taken the P9, and Chapman is now got Albon behind. So Albon to be taking P10 potentially, and Charles Leclerc is now in P15, and Albon is falling back into P16. That is a shame for poor Albon. but we're on board with Ocon, who's actually doing a pretty good job, top 5. Fantastic to see that, and they are fighting for the P9. Carlos has lost a bit of a time, and Lando Norris somehow found the pace and actually starting catching the George Russell. So on to the Camels lane, lap 20. The Piastri has just overtook Carlos by the way. The Piastri is back in third. Ocon is still not got close enough to be able to put any sort of fight, but George Russell unfortunately now moving to the other Dixon to Lando Norris behind as we now going into lap 21. Lando Norris is a lot closer, and that is the bad news between Lando as he right now is quit. He is quit. So George Russell needs to try to do everything in his power to hold back Lando Norris. We have told Russell to the starting team, use your battery on the camera slate to shoot it all the way down to 40%. So every time we get into camera slate, it's 100%. Up at the 40%, you can recharge it more quicker. The Lando Norris is now alongside George Russell, but George Russell defended and he stayed in the lead, and Ocon just overtook Carlos and the Piastri now in third. It is now McLaren 30, George Russell and Alex Albon just gone ahead and overtook Tim Charles now into P10. That's just Alex Albon from the start, P16 as it also knocked out to P90 as the race gone on, and it now in point. That's just very happy about that. But I want him in top 5, but that is not the case this weekend for Alex Albon as the fight goes on with Ocon Shire and Newton Tolona. So Newton Tolona potentially could be in the fight for the top 5 as it's a lot closer to Shire, and Shire is losing a little bit of time to Ocon. So I can imagine Newton to get through and get the P5, but Lando Norris tried to find the gap, but couldn't quite do nothing about that, and Russell continued doing the defending more as we now enter into the final lap of the Belgium Grand Prix, and releasing the gap just quite nicely to make it harder for Lando Norris to be able to catch George Russell on the camera slate. So that's good, but that means the Piastri might have a chance to be able to overtake Lando Norris and take the second place. I'm hoping that will happen because that will help massively in this Driver Championship. So the Piastri, what can he do? Can he get you? Looks like he doesn't, and George Russell will continue in the lead, but he made a mistake as it slowed down, and Lando Norris caught right back up onto George Russell. Russell almost sent it off the track, and he managed to hold it as he went deep again. It looks like his tyres started to get a little bit uncomfortable for George Russell. That is not good. Tell Russell, just keep it together. Just keep it together. Do not let the nerve get the best of him. If he wants to win the World Championship, he needs the nerve of steel. He needs to be able to have ice-cold, just be able to basically just go all the way to the end without feeling any nerve. So hopefully that can happen for George Russell and Lando Norris. He is not giving up as it's now getting closer than to the slipstream. He is now going to try and see if he can make a big shine on the box up to Kane, but it seems like that is not the case. No, it's not. Sure, Russell is now coming out the final corner and finally win on Grand Prix this season. He wins the Belgium Grand Prix.
Absolutely awesome. Just amazing, mate. Well done.
Well done.
Fantastic job from George Russell. Absolutely defense again to McLaren, and we pulled it off.
And the best of British and the best on the track. It's George Russell who wins.
A great display of dominance today, Crofty, by this driver. They led from lights out to the flag at the end, led every lap of the race. brilliant stuff by them, and excited to see what more they can do in future races.
We had drama from start to finish, but in the end, there was only ever one that could take that top spot. By George, he was good today. The top step awaits for George Russell.
Well done, George Russell. That was almost land slam. We led. We had pole, we had fastest lap, we won the race, but we didn't lead every lap, unfortunately. At Piastri also took that from me, but we are 31 points behind Lando Norris. We are catching up, but in the Construction Championship, I think it's fairly leadable this day. It's not possible at McLaren. It's well over 122 points ahead of Brittany Motorsport, so can't do anything about that, unfortunately. But the Driver Championship is still on the table. We just need to be able to be consistent all the way to the end in Qatar. But the ending now at the summer break is already in, and we are going to offer Russell contract to keep him for another year. And for the driver, we don't know what's going to happen with that situation of Anna Dolben, but we'll find out in the next episode. So thanks for watching. Please like and dislike my video. Do you appreciate it, and peace out.